Mm-hmm. I leave that to you, Trev. Was this Monaghan's year? No. No chance. Told you that already. Oh, jeez, I'm just waiting now. Give me 1 second. No, I just accepted Paddy there. I should have had him on it anyway, so we should be coming now. Don't think so, Bilo. Wexford for the strawberries. Now, I've Paddy here, guys, so give me 1 second now. I just get him up. I get him on screen. Go. Make sure the phone is right. Paddy Barnes.
What's happening, Connor?
How are you getting on, sir?
All good. Just bored in the house.
Like ourselves here, delighted to have you on. There's a good few on here now, so obviously thanks a million for taking the time out to join us for the chat, the bit of crack.
No problem.
How are you finding this lockdown up there? Obviously, there's kids running around and as on the phone earlier on.
No, it's dead on. I'm working from home. I will trying to two kids, trying to do a bit of homeschooling, which is fun because you can basically reread history. For my kid, I think Hercules started the Spanish Armada. Or sorry, Hercules defeated the Spanish Armada. You know what I mean?
I suppose, Paddy, we start off, I suppose, with, obviously, maybe if you want to run through us there, obviously, when you were growing up, obviously, in Belfast, I suppose, as a young fella.
Yeah.
And how you...
I started my career, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much as a young lad, and when you got into boxing and stuff like that, and I suppose, how did you get into it in the first place, as opposed to, obviously, other sports,
Yeah, I suppose street and my friends were going to the club and I had no interest in boxing really. And I went down anyway and it was a Wednesday and on the Sunday I had my first fight. But in the meantime I used to hi Rossies. I used to go to a place called Glass to be fishing village in County Down and my uncle owned the club down there. So my cousin's box, I just joined the Maimons and I joined the club. And my dad would drive me down every weekend to the club bar glass. So, it's been like highly documented. I lost my first 12 fights. Possibly because I probably trained once a week, like on a Saturday, sometimes twice a week, Saturday and Sunday. But then, like, when I was 14, a few cousins in Belfast were allowing me to train in Belfast. And when I went at the weekends to our glass, trained there with my uncles. And that's when I started, because it was training harder and more, I started winning more fights and start improving as well. And when I was 16, that's when I won my first All-Ireland title. And then from there, I broke on to the Irish team and I started winning multi-nations and that there and just started doing well and well.
And tell me this, Paddy, was there other sports up there that were pulling, obviously, people? Would boxing have been a big sport at that age, or as opposed to GA or soccer or rugby, even in Ulster, is obviously pretty big as well?
Yeah, well, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but rugby and Ulster is like a middle class sport. I'm probably right when I'm saying. So definitely not. Okay, I'm from working class area, so rugby for me was definitely out of the question.
Right.
The likes of soccer and boxing probably were two main sports. GAA hurling's massive all around Ireland, but it won't be as big sorry, I was going to say it wouldn't be as big as it is in the south, but it definitely is. Not just in Belfast City.
Mm.
Well, it's a different kind of climate for sports. If you
Yeah.
understand, you know what I
Yeah, I
mean.
get
Like
you. Yeah.
you go down to the middle of Ireland, you have like parish. Everyone's doing it for their parish.
Mm.
And Belfast, you wouldn't really have a parish. It's not that sense of the community
Right.
toward surrounding GA as there would be in the south. So football and boxing would definitely be two of the main sports. Working class people in Belfast would be prone to going to, and obviously GAA in your local areas.
Mm. When Paddy, when would you say, I suppose, for yourself and obviously from a coaching point of view, that coaches would have known, that you had something about you in that particular sport? Was there any particular time that you just said, right, I have a career here in front of me if I stick at it? Like?
Um, I'm not sure. For myself, I remember when I was 16, I won the first All Irelands. Then I went to a tournament called the Four Nations, which was Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales.
Mm.
And I won that, and I thought that I was world champion. I thought this is unbelievable. And you know what? I thought I'm gonna give it a serious go. But I remember like when I was 18, uh, I was still doing okay. Senior champion. Well, the ultra senior champion. I
Mm.
lost twice in the I seniors, but I think one of the main turning points for me sticking with the sport could have been I remember having money. I had no boxing boots. I remember having money for boxing boots, just thinking like, do I want to spend this money on boxing boots? Make me boxing boots soon. But I bought them anyway, and just dedicating myself, to the sport, and I thought nothing else. I never wanted to be anything else but a boxer,
Mm.
and I never have any dreams of big working. So I want boxing to work for me, and for my years, that was the case.
And was there someone when you were growing up, Paddy, an inspiration? As in, like obviously when I was playing GAs, it would have been GA players, and the soccer guys who would have been soccer players. Would there been a boxer or somebody, in that regard that you would have looked up to that would have inspired you to go at it?
See, really, no, because
Mm.
I love sport, but I never really watched boxing. I never really watched much sports, to be honest. So I would be lying, if I say
Mm.
someone inspired me. I'm not. Loads and loads of boxers say like, Muhammad Ali inspired me or whatever, but I'd be lying if I say that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, so just me, like wanting to be the best I can be, and just wanting to achieve as much as I could. That inspired me.
And I suppose your early career, obviously, you started off obviously when you went to the Olympics in '08.
Yeah.
Um, if you want to maybe talk us through that, obviously you obviously won a bronze medal in the first at that Olympics. I mean that must have been some buzz, obviously from us, obviously watching on for a start. Anyone who's an Olympian,
Yeah.
is a huge achievement. But to actually go on and achieve a medal, I know you look at
But
you. You've obviously won plenty of medals, but I mean that
yeah.
that first one in the Olympics must have been something very, very, satisfying and a huge buzz for you.
But you know what? I actually remember my dream was never Olympic Games. As I said before, I didn't really watch sports. Like, obviously, when Amir Khan was fighting in Athens
Mm.
Olympic Games and gymnastics or something or track and field was on TV, I was tuning that there in the early years.
Mm.
Watching Olympics, I was never at the Olympics at all. I didn't realize the magnitude of how big they were. So I remember in Chicago, I qualified for Beijing, and like I remember running back my corner. Yes, I won the fight. I beat Japan. Um, my first thought was never the Olympic Games. I remember Billy Wells saying to me, "Yes, we're going to Beijing." I went, "I dead on. I'm on 20 grand a year. I don't give a fuck about Beijing." You know what I mean? And also as well. So at that time, I was the only Irish boxer to qualify.
Mm.
I remember like thinking, I'm not going to the Olympic Games with Billy Wells, Czar. not a chance. My hair would be turned. I couldn't stick them to by myself in China. Somebody else may qualify. But thankfully, John O'Nevin, John O'Joyce, Darren Sutherland, and Kenny qualified. So I was a good week team going, and it really relaxed me. So I was so happy that I wasn't the only one going.
And tell me this, Billy Walsh, obviously, would he have had a big influence on you throughout that career, obviously, in your couple of Olympics and obviously the Euros in the midst of that as well? Would you have found how good a coach was he? Is he as good as what people say, or, or not, effectively, I suppose?
No, Paddy Barnes is a good coach, there's no doubt about it, but more so than a coach, I think his best attribute was his man management. He was always a great man to have in your corner. He knew if something went wrong, Billy was always there to fix it. He could talk to them, you know what I mean? But coaching ways, it was Zoran Tia for skill would have been definitely the man back then. So that's what I think fatal that we hold, like Ireland as a nation, the box nation, hold on to Zoran Tia. But Billy Welch, it's sad that we lost him. Because he had many other skills, many other attributes that I think Irish boxing needed. But in the meantime now, we've got John Conlon, who is just as similar as, not the same as Billy Welch for man management. John Conlon understands boxers' needs, and he sees the bigger picture, like Billy did.
No, I suppose the elephant question, Paddy, Zhu Shiming, this boxer, I think this is a Zhu Shiming, or the Chinese dude. I think it was 3 fights he had with him, what's the like for someone that obviously is not a huge, obviously I watch boxing and enjoy it, but I'm not, of the technical aspect of it, but. Is it the same as, can you study a fighter at Olympic level the same as, obviously you were professional as well, or is there, how many differences is there, and particularly with that guy, because, I think it was 3 fights that he beat you in, and I know there was one that was 15-15 and you lost on a countdown at the end, and which a lot of people felt you should have won it. What was your thoughts on him? Was he that good, or, what was your opinion on him?
Yeah, well, Zhu Shiming, he's obviously very talented. He's 2-time Olympic champion, 3-time world champion, and a bronze medalist too. I actually remember fighting him the first time in Chicago. He was a reigning world champion. Actually, he wasn't. He had a bronze medal at Olympic Games. Actually, and he was world champion, so I'm like, but I didn't know who he was. Billy Welch refused to tell me that I think the world champion. I never checked him up. I just said, he's obviously very, very good. He's at the quarterfinals, and it turned out, Billy told me after, he's a world champion. Didn't even know what there. But then went to Beijing and followed me after that there, so I knew who he was. And his main skill was, speed. So fast, his hand. He didn't punch hard, but his hand speed was very, very quick. So I knew that I needed to be on the game. I needed to stay sharp and focused. But in Beijing, he was just, again, that one step ahead of me, beat me. I think at our burst after the fight, it was 15-0. I have no qualms at all with the result. He definitely beat me. But that's going to point. I think the judges were, it was
harsh.
Harsh. I want to say a harsher word, but for them.
Well, you obviously learned from it, because you came back, and obviously a couple of years later it was 15-15 at the end of the bout.
It was weird because for him beating me 15-0 and I come back and it was 15 each, it was good. The pity I didn't win that fight, people think I did win it, but I thought it was very, very close. Could have went either way, and it's just unfortunate that it never went my way.
Another bronze then, Paddy, there. And how much of an achievement is it personally, of a sense of fulfillment when you go back to Belfast, obviously with an Olympic medal, to obviously your family and friends and stuff like that? That must be, we talk down here about obviously All Ireland football championships and so on and so forth, but I mean, medals of that magnitude are, they're huge achievements, and must be something else to have that feeling obviously coming back.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have to go back where I said like it didn't really hit how big the Olympics was because obviously it didn't really tune in that much. But when I came home from Beijing, the reception I got from the Irish public was unbelievable. It was the front page, every paper.
Mm.
Everyone wanted to talk to me. Everywhere I went, people shake my hand. So I obviously knew, it meant a lot to people back home. I done well for my country, and I went to London and done the same again. It's just the feeling coming home and knowing that everyone has been supporting you and wishing you well, and the feeling of actually doing well for them is just second to none.
Like I don't think people realise, the sense, I suppose, of what you've achieved. Winning a medal on its own is a phenomenal achievement. To go back to the Olympics again, 4 years or whatever later to do the same thing, that level of commitment in between, it must have been hard at times to obviously, well, maybe, I would have found it at times very hard to keep motivated all the way through, and obviously go back to that level, because I lived with Darren Sunderland for a little while in DCU in college, back in the day, and I used to see the stuff he was doing at training, and like basically, we had obviously with county football and stuff. If I went out for a night out, effectively, and I came back, I'd go into the fridge and I'd be munching away or whatever like that, and I get up the next day, and there'd be a thing on the fridge. Sunderland would have something on the fridge. Will you put back the 2 slices of ham or the 3 slices of cheese or whatever I was after taking on him? You know what I mean?
Man, he was a talent, man. I'll tell you one thing. We were training. Actually, we were competing in Dublin, the European Union Championships in 2007. So we're staying in the Griffith College next door.
Yeah.
And we're playing like FIFA or something out there on the Xbox. And a boxer called Willie Casey stole one of his tea bags and done bananas.
He was a lunatic.
Me, but Darren was a real tight bastard. God love him, but he real tight.
I suppose into 16, Paddy, obviously when you were the flag bearer for Ireland. I know you've mentioned it in interviews previously or whatever. That's a very big moment. How did that come to fruition, or I suppose how did that process take effect, really?
I'll tell you how it happened, right? So I thought I was going to be the flag bearer. Well, I wanted to be the flag bearer in London, because it was only medalists going back to the games. So I thought, I'll carry the flag because I'm the only medalist going to these games here. Never happened. Katie Taylor got to carry it, and I was delighted for her because she was one who actually single-handedly got women's boxing to Olympic Games. And she's my teammate and a friend, so I had no qualms whatsoever. And then I remember doing a photo shoot for Atlantic Ireland in Dublin, and I think I had like a bit of a thing about pushing me for flag bearer. No, I made it up a campaign. So I think it's sort of a campaign. And I always say to myself, like, I'm kind of flag bearer, I don't care, right? And Pat Hickey phoned me. He says, Pat, how are you doing? Me, Pat, not too bad. How are you doing? He goes, what would you do if I told you you're kind of flag for Ireland in Rio? Me, happy days, delighted, Pat, because I'm doing it anyway. No matter what. He goes, I've selected you. Me, what have you? It's very good of you. I was carrying it anyway. But once I found that news out, I was officially the flag bearer. I was ecstatic. It was. You could argue it's one of the greatest achievements in my career because to lead your country out at the biggest sporting event in the world. There's nothing that can really compare to that.
No, and I suppose going into them games, Paddy, obviously they didn't work out, I suppose, as planned, obviously. Now, well, am I right in saying 49 kilos is 7.7 stone around, weight-wise?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I was reading that yesterday. I was doing, obviously, a bit of research, and, like, I've always probably been 9, 10 stone or whatever, and I'd be very, very
Mm.
slight as a football player. And I was looking at them weights, and I was like, man, to get to that weight must be,
Mm.
Jesus, man. I don't know how. And what weight? If you're having weight issues with obviously 49 kilos, what are you looking at? You're weighing around 51 or 52, or is it 70 or 75? If you get me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, listen, if we talk about 2016,
Mm,
see, making the weight, it's always very, very tough. But when I made the weight in Rio, it was never as tough. It was arguably the same toughness as making it any other time. You know,
okay.
that was an issue. The issue for me was I had never done this in my career, so I weighed in at 8 a.m. and fought at 11 a.m. So short of a time frame to rehydrate and refuel. I'd never had me before in my career. Uh,
Mm,
so I couldn't train for that there because I didn't know that I'll be fighting at that time. You know what I mean? So when I get into the ring in Rio, 30 seconds, energy was zapped. I had nothing left after 30 seconds because I wasn't properly fueled, I wasn't properly hydrated, and you could tell from performance, I just hadn't got nothing left. People say to me, "Oh, I shouldn't have moved up weight." People who said there, don't have the clue because I qualified at 49 kilo the year
mm.
before. So you have to stick to that weight, and it is the weight that I'm most successful at. It's the weight that I'm most strongest at. Um, but again, Rio, the time frame from the weigh-in to the fight, something which I've never experienced before, ultimately caught up with me.
And at that stage, Paddy, in that fight, if you remember, like when you're gassed out, is it a case of inside your head, like, get me out of here kind of thing, or do you just put the head down and are you so mentally
No.
strong that you just keep plugging away and punching away?
Yeah, I remember just put my head down, bite my gum, season and throwing as much as I could. And you know
Mm,
what? It was a very, very close fight. I thought, if I had won the fight, I wouldn't have argued. It was very close. Um, but I actually remember thinking after it, thank God I lost that fight because in the next round, it would have been against Colombia. And the weigh-in and the fight was the exact same time again. So the Colombian probably would have bothered me because of his style of fighting. He was strong, very,
mm.
very strong fighter. And he probably would have stopped me because I wouldn't have nothing left. So it is probably a blessing in disguise that I lost the close fight. Whereas the next fight I've had a won, I'd have been destroyed.
Better off out. There was obviously a little bit of kickback, Paddy, after that early stages. Now, I suppose it's gone into the next obviously conversation. I see obviously Michael Conlon defended you very, very strongly at the time. No, I suppose just to ask, speak of the devil, he's only after popping up there. Just in relation to your relationship with Michael, obviously another a fantastic boxer with obviously a huge career ahead of him as well. So, what's your thoughts on him? And obviously you're very close and stuff.
Yeah, listen, if you watch the McCollum fight, after to see me and you know
He's
what,
dogging you
McCollum,
there now.
the Russian destroyer, I don't know what he's talking about. No, you can see me going mad. But I think that much raging at the decision of mixed fight. I was spitting, like, not intentionally, but there's people sitting below me. I was spitting their head by accident, and like they're up giving me, and I was shooting back to them, and then explaining them like what happened, and the situation calmed down. But
Mm.
I think the whole Irish camp were disgusted because of what happened.
Mm.
And disgusted that it was allowed to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was obviously set up previous to what was going to happen. Um, it was just terrible.
No, I know he's obviously he don't hesitate to answer now just because he's on the stream now as well. Is where do you think he can go or in his career? Do you think
Yeah,
how high can he go?
listen, I've trained with like so many boxers on the Irish team. And still to this day, Mick Conlon's probably the most skillful
Mm.
that I've ever trained with. I've said to him before, I've said to a lot of people, Mick Conlon's definitely most skillful, and I really do think and believe that he will be a professional world champion. Not this year, definitely next year.
Mm.
Probably next year because of this coronavirus shit. You know what I mean? So
Whenever that ends, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think, Paddy? We'll say just a quick one on the heavyweight division at the moment. Obviously, Tyson Fury is banging away there. He's obviously doing a phenomenal job at the moment. Do you think that division is strong with himself, Wilder, I suppose, Joshua? Where do you see Joshua fitting in with them guys? I don't think he can beat Fury personally, but I'm not an expert on it.
Fury beats them all for me, because
Yeah.
the size and his speed and agility, no one can deal with it. Wilder was found out. Not that he was found out. Wilder is still as good. He's a big solid unit of a man, and that's just what you need in that division. But Fury has it all. He can definitely punch too, but for his speed and agility, that weight is ridiculous. And Joshua is more of a straightforward boxer. I think it'd be so easy for Fury to beat him. And I'm still a fan. I really like Joshua, but I think for me all day it's Tyson Fury.
How big is Fury, Paddy? Up close? Is he a monster?
He is a monster. I was training with him last or 2 years ago in Marbella, and if you see him on Instagram, we're standing face off. But at this stage, he had all his weight on him. He was real fully fat, and looking over him, he's just a tar of a man. But I had a face off too with Joshua, so for me, from what I remember, they're the same size.
Joshua's a big boy too. I suppose going into your professional career, Paddy, 9 fights obviously as a pro as well. Look, I'm not going to divulge on all the fights or anything like that, but I suppose how big was it for you to fight for the WBC title in Windsor Park? That must have been a big buzz for you in your home city.
Yeah, definitely. The WBC title is for me the best belt in boxing. Because initially my team were even for the WBO belt, and we got word that we're fighting for the WBC, and I couldn't believe it. I was over the moon, and to fight for this belt, it's crazy. I remember watching like Barrera and Morales fight years ago for the WBC title. Mayweather not there. It's me fighting for it. It's just fantastic, but it's never happened for me. A lot of people say that Paddy was too soon for you. Maybe so, but I didn't want to be the same as everyone else. I was old too. A lot of experience in the amateurs, which take that away. Amateur boxing and professional boxing are two totally different sports. Almost as different as like horse racing. So the flats and the jumps, two different types of horses. These are amateur and pro. They're two different types of fighters. So I remember saying to my team, listen, I've great history as an amateur. Throw me in deep end as a pro. I want a great history as a pro. And rightly so. My third fight, I fought for the WBO European title. I don't know anybody who's ever fought for a title, especially from Ireland, in their third fight. And then a world title in their sixth. It's never ever happened. I don't think that'll happen again, because I don't think anyone will want to risk their career early on. And I wasn't afraid of losing, albeit to the best. If I lost, I wanted to lose to the best, so I didn't really care. Obviously, I was devastated on the loss, but what can you do? It's sport.
Paddy, what would you say is the biggest fundamental difference, I suppose, between the two as an amateur and professional? I mean, how different is your training build up? What was your build up like to that fight in Windsor Park, for instance, as in compared to, we'd say, training for the Olympics? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they're two totally different sports, you're trained differently. So I wouldn't necessarily say the training's harder. It's just different. Um, you're training more on that speed, but like you're still working speed, but you're trying to sit down your punches more. But you're aiming to knock your opponent out, not just
Mm,
in how much you're getting points, but you're training for like you're conditioning yourself to fight for longer.
mm,
So amateur boxing is like a sprint, so it's 3 3-minute rounds. Pro boxing, you can afford to take a few shots, not worry because you get your opponent in the long stretch, and it's like 12 3-minute rounds, so it's a long time, and um, that's where we'll go back and say, that's why they're so different, and plus the gloves are a lot smaller. You know, uh, if
mm.
I was fighting in the street, I would rather provide their gloves than my fist because it's like a plot apart, hitting you. You have no defense, and my biggest attribute was my defense in amateur boxing, and you couldn't fit that. You see some people fighting as amateurs, aggressive, come forward style guys, and people
Mm.
saying, yeah, he teaches the pro game, but they're not. People who are slick, hands down, good head movement, they're the ones, good boxers, they're the ones who are most suited to the pro game. You get the likes of Sean McComb, who
Mm.
was always a stick fighter, turned pro. People thought because of his movement he wouldn't have made it or wouldn't have been as good as he is, but now look at him now, he's flying. He's probably one of the hottest prospects in Ireland.
Interesting stuff. I suppose, Paddy, how did I suppose, retirement come around? I suppose, what was your headspace like at that time? Was obviously it was a difficult decision, or was it an easy decision for you? Had you made your peace, or was it because of, yeah, your professional career was obviously a short length of time in relation to fight numbers, as in 9.
Yeah.
Did you think you could have went on a little bit further, or was it just you had your fill and or whatever?
I do you know what, most for me, like it was from I was losing, it was like I lost the world champion and
Mm.
I lost to a guy who's a good bit heavier than me in America. People ask me why I fought him, the fella in America, and the simple answer is, listen, I got a chance to fight in New York, Madison.
Yeah.
I had a fought Mike Tyson. I wouldn't have cared to get that chance. Took it. It was actually a great fight. He smashed me to bits with his first punch. Lost, but you know what? I think my stock kind of rose in America because of my performance. But then I came back, had a win in the McConnell undercard in Belfast, and I was planning on going down to light fly, my amateur weight,
Mm.
and my team phoned me up and offered me a fight against the current flyweight European and Commonwealth champion. I think it's not really what I want because I think I'm too small for flyweight, but it's a fast route back to world title shot. So
Mm.
yeah, let's have it then. And but obviously a lot of fight too. But I think even before that fight, I was sparring, and when I was sparring, things that have always worked for me, like slip, different like counter punches and reaction stuff. All
Mm.
that was slowing down. I was being hit with shots that should never be hit by, and I wasn't as fast or reactive as I always has been. So thankfully, I'm smart enough to know that with those away, it's too dangerous to keep going on because I'll only do myself damage. So I'm glad that I made the decision. So it was genuinely the only decision that I could have made because um, at that age, at that time, this time, sorry, I don't think that I had the potential to be world champion. You know,
Mm.
maybe if I'm pro and was 26, could have happened, but I tried and never worked out. And the reason for retiring, sorry, I've back in it, was I felt myself, my own body slowing down, and it would just be stupid for me to carry on just to call myself a professional boxer. Like I don't really care about being a professional boxer. You know what I mean? I care about my health more than that.
In relation to America, Paddy will say it's just a question. what what does the boxer have to do when you fight in America for them to kind of to take you in? You see a lot of boxers who fight in America and it just doesn't work out for them for whatever reason. They may win the fight, but they don't give the fans what they want to see.
You know what? Like, see, professional boxing, right? Make it anywhere, not just America. Make it anywhere. Professional boxing, obviously it's a sport, but not really. It's a business. So for people to buy into you, if you make a big name of yourself, you need to sell yourself. You need to have an entertaining style, because you could be like your man Riondo, best boxer, unbelievable, but boring to watch. So, boxing being as a business, like, I don't want to pay to see someone who I know is going to win and win. It's boring to watch. You need to watch someone who's very, very exciting and brings entertainment, and that's how you make it. If you're entertaining and you're able to sell yourself, then you're flying. You have like Donald Carl, very entertaining fighter. Speaks very well, so he's getting big fights from it. Which is great for him. And you have other boxers. There's loads who have big mouths. Some who are crap, but because they have a big mouth,
yeah,
people are going to ban it. So that's the business side of it. So people need to understand that professional boxing is mainly a business. So sell yourself accordingly.
Have you ever come across Mayweather or Paddy in your journey, as in seeing him up live training or sparring or in a fight himself? Or what's your opinion of him as a boxer?
I'll tell you one thing. I've never met Mayweather in my life. I've always wanted to meet him. So I'm going to blame this on Mick Conlan. So Mayweather was in Rio when Mick was fighting. Mayweather was going to watch a guy called Shakur Stevenson, who was on the fight previous to Mick. And because Mick lost, I was so annoyed that I didn't give a fuck about Mayweather. So I didn't go near him. left the arena in a huff. So if Mick had won that fight, I would have met Mayweather. So I blame him.
I got a question there from a friend of mine there. The Golden Gloves in America.
Yeah.
Was that ever interested you?
The Golden Gloves?
Yeah.
It's basically like the Irish Championships, but like it's a big stupid tournament, just really. Yeah. Obviously, it's a massive tournament, but there's no real like credibility to it because it's busy as just the American National Championships, and like only like these past couple of years that America is getting good at the amateur level because of different scoring systems. But I would but
not for you.
Holy shit. You need to be American, anybody out of it, so I can
any other sports, Paddy, interest you? Are you keen on anything? Do you follow the soccer or football or any of that other kind of stuff? I know you've gone to a few matches there with Frampton and Belfast a couple of times, but
we support rival teams. We're both from North Belfast. He supports Crusaders and I support Cliftonville. But when I was fighting, I never really had time to go and watch any matches because I was always in Glasgow or Marbella training. But my dad, he's a season ticket holder. But when you say sport, I always loved hurling and like Gaelic, but I was too small. I could boil off the ball every time I got it, and hurling was like a no-no for me. I love watching it, but playing it was too rough. Not a chance that I play hurling. But it's still watching one of the best sports you can watch, and I'm more of a off-league top. So
very good.
I'm a big GA fan.
Tell me this, Paddy. Carl Frampton, obviously a good buddy of yours. How's his journey, and what's the future hold for the Jackal?
Well, the Jackal maybe fighting for a world title next when all this Farris situations cleared up. This is a massive fight. I don't think people have put as much emphasis on what's at stake here from. It's just to be the first person ever from here to be a 3-weight world champion. And each world title he's won, he's actually taken it from the champion. So he hasn't like fought for a faking title. So it's gonna be serious going, and I really hope he does it, and I believe he can do it. So, no, if he does win this fight, he's definitely gonna be down as Ireland's best and most accomplished fighter.
Mm. And I suppose our own Katie Taylor, you've obviously, been on a lot of cards, obviously, along the way with her as well, and travelled, obviously, abroad with her a few times as well. She's obviously a great, icon for the Irish people here.
Yeah.
How have you found, I suppose, her as a boxer, over the years? Would you ever spar together and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, me and Kate would spar all the time.
Mm.
I'd be done 100 rounds of sparring with her. Um, I used to love sparring because it would have got me really, really fit and sharp because, I've sparred loads of boxers, but Kate Taylor is definitely the fastest person I've ever sparred. Her hand speed is frightening. Um, I used to love, like, we had some wars. I actually remember one time her dad phoned me to go down to Bray and spar. I can't remember which was going. Maybe the World Championships. And sub up my wife Mari down with me. And we done 9 rounds of sparring. And it was 3 different sections of sparring. So, like, the first 3 would have been technical. Next 3 would have been something else. The next 3 was something else. But remember the last 3 rounds, we were tied together with like a Velcro strap. So we couldn't get away from each other. And he threw a hook at me. But her hand was caught in the rope. I guess so. She was open. And I remember unleashing about 20 punches and her dad laughing. Mari had the 2 going. So
Jesus Christ.
tough girl. Tough girl. What a fighter.
Yeah, no, phenomenal athlete. We'll just touch on Paddy. Just want to mention your own podcast there, Paddy Cast.
Yeah.
Just I suppose want to wish you the best of luck with that moving forward. I've only seen a few bits of the first one you've done. How have you? Did you enjoy the first one?
Yeah, it's brilliant. No, and if you do watch the first one, you like. I'm new to this game, so like even the way I talk, people don't understand me, and
Me too.
I think it took me a while to get into it and speak properly and feel more relaxed and comfortable the way I present myself. So I think as the podcast goes on, I think my communication skills will get better. But I've got some serious big names. So I
Yeah.
think people will tune in and like not just the Irish sport people, but international superstars that I have on the show.
Very good. I suppose where to now, Paddy, for you? What's the future hold for you? Did I see right you're gone in the IABA coaching?
No, I think I lied about that there. Pretended I was head coach for nothing. Not in the press. Just put anything. But I'm Ulster's club development officer, so I'm giving guidance on like different stuff for clubs and such as the club work and funding applications and that there and helping them, being able to govern themselves properly and that there too, and you know what I mean. So I'm enjoying my role because I'm very passionate about amateur boxing and to help clubs directly. And Ulster, it's for me, it's not just a job for me, not really a job, because it's something that I love doing anyway.
And do you feel you can are the numbers big in the north that are amateur boxers? Is that something you're going to focus on, is in growing the numbers up there and growing the sport as well as a whole, or moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. The team in our office will have like a lot of members of growth programs running, and they're always very successful. We're getting actually a lot of females involved in the sport, and Ulster boxing's growing. We've got 36 clubs in Belfast alone, and like 133 in Ulster. So, it's pretty big, and it's always growing.
That's fantastic. Now, I suppose, Paddy, all I want to say is I'm going to finish it up, and I just want to say to you, you're a legend, and it's a privilege to have you on here and have a chat with you. And I just want to wish you the best of luck moving forward. And I'm going to I'm going to obviously keep an eye on your podcast as well, Paddy Cast, for everyone
Make
who's
sure you do.
watching here. I will,
Make sure you do.
and we will keep in touch. And I want to wish you
Yeah.
the best luck,
No
top man.
problem. I say up Mayo
Come on,
and all of
Paddy.
you.
Take care of yourself. Good luck.
Take care, Albert.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Paddy. Bye bye. Bye. Now, everyone. Paddy Barnes, legend, great chat, great guy. Want to wish him the best of luck, and thanks for everyone who logged in tonight, kept the time to a premium as well. So top class. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.